against the world.
Ray, how did you hear about Trade Tech?
I heard about Trade Tech. You want the true story? Many of my drunk driving clients across the street, I would see kids walking into the school, and that's how I initially heard about it about 20 years ago. And then when I decided for a life-changing career, I decided to come here, given that the other cooking schools wanted $60,000 to $70,000, and I felt that I could get a good training here, and I feel as though I have.
And what program are you currently in?
I'm currently in baking, 122, and basically we provide bread for the cafeteria. It's production baking.
And then what are you planning on doing when you graduate?
Well, I don't know if I'll graduate, but I'm going to use the experience to hopefully do some catering work. I've done a little bit so far, but I haven't really gotten the business online.
How did I hear about it? Everybody around me was talking about it, and it was recommended to me by a guy named John, his teacher that sent him here, and he's now the chef for Mandolin Bake, and he graduated from here.
And what program are you currently in?
Culinary arts, to become a chef.
And what do you want to do when you graduate?
I want to become a chef, and hopefully it will be for the Wynn Hotel in Mandolin Bay.
So how did you hear about Trade Tech?
Well, when I was in the hospital from recovering from a stroke, all I can remember was food. I went to La Cordon Bleu, and it was too expensive. And then I was told that the same chefs were trained at La Cordon Bleu than here. So I said I wanted to come to Trade Tech, $20 a unit. And I'm loving it.
What program are you currently in?
I'm currently in the baking program. I just finished culinary. I am officially a chef.
You mean Trade Tech has two separate programs?
Yes, two separate programs. I've learned so much. Even going through the strokes and everything, everybody's been helpful.
And what do you want to do when you graduate?
I graduated June 10th, and now I am gonna go ahead. Well, actually, I have a small business, catering business, and it's called Potluck Solutions. And I'm glad that I started the program. It's a godsend.
From a friend, they graduated here also. So he graduated in culinary also, and he told me to LATPC is the best culinary school.
And what do you plan on doing when you graduate?
A lot of plans, all positive plans. Like one is going back to Philippines when I'm from, share my knowledge, the knowledge I learned in LATTC, and some is to be to have my own restaurant and to be a successful chef also.
So how did you hear about Trade Tech?
I heard about Trade Tech through a friend of mine who said that this is one of the best schools of culinary schools, and I enjoy baking, so I'm doing professional baking and hope to make a career out of it.
And what do you want to do when you graduate?
I want to open up a bakery.
Very good. So tell us how you heard about Trade Tech.
I went to Boat Rehab.
Okay.
I found out that Trade Tech has a good program.
And were you in another career before and you were changing careers?
Yes.
Okay. And what program are you currently in?
Culinary.
Okay. And what do you want to do when you graduate?
My dream is to have a bed and breakfast.
Very good. What brought you to Trade Tech?
I'm interested to learn about chefing and culinary arts.
Who told you about the school?
From a counselor at my high school referred me to this school when I expressed an interest to become a chef.
What high school was it?
Fairfax High School.
And what do you want to do when you complete the program?
Well, I'd like to be in the business. I'd like to have a restaurant, or possibly I'd maybe do some catering where I could experience some traveling. And also, I'd like to become an influence to deaf people as a chef.
I heard about Trade Tech off of the news, actually. They were saying that it was one of the best culinary programs in the city, and so I decided to come here.
And what program are you currently in?
I'm in professional baking. I'm in Chef Stacy's class, and we do artisanal breads and pastries.
And what do you want to do when you graduate?
I'm planning on actually using this as a career, and I plan to go into culinary and try and get my associates.
I heard about Trade Tech through one of my jobs. I wanted a qualification and more pay, salary.
Where are you working now?
I'm unemployed at the moment.
And what program are you currently enrolled in?
I'm just getting my diploma for all the...
And what do you plan on doing when you graduate?
I plan on putting it all on my resume and a plan for every job I can find. Hopefully I want to get a job with the school district so I can get good holidays.
How did you hear about Trade Tech?
I heard about Trade Tech many years ago, really from a friend of my mother's who was here and was taking baking. And I've always known about Trade Tech. And when I decided to start my second career after teaching school for 24 years, I decided I would come here for my culinary training. Couldn't afford to go anywhere else, so I'm glad the school was here and available for me.
What do you want to do when you graduate?
When I graduate, I want to open up my barbecue place. I want to also cater, and I'm looking at getting a restaurant going at my church.
Yes, sir.
How did you hear about Trade Tech?
I actually heard about Trade Tech from a friend.
And what program are you currently in?
I'm currently in baking.
And what do you want to do when you graduate?
Possibly open up a business that cooks for elderly people, and also develop a cooking technique for cooking to point for greens.
So how did you hear about Trade Tech?
I heard about Trade Tech through, I'm on welfare, and my worker, she asked me what did I want to be. It took me to school, so I picked Trade Tech because I like cooking.
What program are you currently in?
Well, I graduated from Culinary Arts downstairs to cooking, and now I'm in professional baking, and it's just a whole new world, and I'm loving it.
And what do you want to do when you graduate?
I want to be a sous chef, to work in a pastry chef, to work in a big hotel, but I'll take anything so far. You gotta talk about it.
I actually heard about it from a friend of mine's father who is a transport counselor here, and he just let me know what a good opportunity it was to come out here and learn about culinary arts, and I jumped at the chance because it sounded great, and I met a lot of people that are here working towards my same goals, and I think that if I didn't come here, I wouldn't have met these kinds of people that I wouldn't have met anywhere else, and I really appreciate the chance to be here.
What are your goals when you graduate?
I'm actually planning on moving on to baking and pastry arts because I'm in culinary right now, and I eventually want to own like a bakery or cafe near like a college area where people can just come together and